Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch of Crime Talk coming to you from the mountains of Colorado. First on the docket, new orders from the judge in the Rivera Vallow and Chad Daybell case. Second, apparently it's illegal to sell bleach for medicinal purposes. Third, Michael Cohen just doesn't get it. Fourth, the home of Suzanne Morphew was searched yet again yesterday. Fifth, 911 and video have been released in the case of a missing actress. Sixth, video from the Breonna Taylor matter. And finally, our dumb criminal contestant of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch coming to you from the Devil Thumbs Ranch in Colorado. Will you take a look at the surroundings? It's absolutely beautiful. Before we get to the docket, as always, if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so that you receive notifications of when we go live, and as always, leave us a comment below about what we talk about today. First on the docket, the judge has issued new orders in the Rivera Vallow and Chad Daybell case. Specifically, the court has ordered that both the defendants will appear personally in the courtroom. Well, you may say, what's the big deal? They've already been there. Well, as you know, the coronavirus is kind of picking up in the western states, and social distancing has taken place in the courtrooms. The court has indicated that the courtroom is large enough so that social distancing can take place with all the parties present. Now, like I said, most people think this is no big deal, but the court specifically notes that the defendant in each case has a right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and the accusers, and therefore that's why it's imperative to have the hearing in person. Now, Rivera Vallow's preliminary hearing for the destruction, altering of evidence case will go on August 10th and 11th at 9 a.m. and Chad Daybell's preliminary hearing is currently set for August 3 and 4. It wouldn't surprise me if the district attorney will file a motion to consolidate both of these cases into one hearing, since the evidence will be literally identical and it makes no sense to have the officers testify more than once. And if you heard that, that's a horse in the background because there's horses up here. This is like the Wild West. And in the other case that Rivera Vallow had, which we previously referred to as the abandonment case, she's no longer entitled to a preliminary hearing on those matters because they are now all misdemeanor charges. Next on the docket, apparently it's illegal to sell a bleach mixture for medicinal purposes. Well, that's what happened. A father and his sons have been charged for violating a judge's order for contempt, as well as conspiracy against the United States, as well as the Food and Drug and Cosmetic Administration. Why, you say, would he do that? Well, apparently the United States Attorney asked Mark Brennan and his three sons to stop selling this mixture of bleach and some other substances, which they referred to as Miracle Mineral, and Mr. Brennan and his sons refused to do so. And as we've always said, there's an easy way and there's a hard way to always do something. Apparently Mr. Brennan and his children have now decided to take it the hard way. Of course, they're in violation of the court's order, but the Brennans feel that the courts and the FDA are violating their constitutional rights to basically sell whatever they want. And normally you can sell whatever you want, but you can't make claims that it's going to be of medicinal value. Don't drink bleach, people. In case you needed that warning, don't drink bleach. Next on the docket, Michael Cohen just doesn't get it. That's right, Michael Cohen, President Trump's former personal attorney and reported fixer, was sent to prison for various nefarious things related to tax matters. He was released based upon a compassionate release motion that he filed and the court granted. He would have had to remain on in-home detention until his scheduled release of November of 2021. Now, Michael Cohen had been seen out and about while on home detention, dining out in public in Manhattan. You're not supposed to do that. But apparently priorities were being set with the probation department, the supervision, the people that were going to set up the supervision for him. And one of the things that he could not do, and remember, he's still a prisoner in the Bureau of Prisons, granted the privilege of staying at home and sleeping in his own bed, but he didn't want to do that. No. Probation said, you can't do anything on social media, you can't do anything with media, you can't do anything with tweets or what have you. Apparently Mr. Cohen and his attorney thought that this was some sort of negotiation. Well, apparently not. Because when the negotiations broke down, within 30 minutes the United States Marshals were at Mr. Cohen's residence arresting him. Apparently at the residence he said he would now sign the form if he didn't have to go back to jail. Apparently when the Marshals arrived, he said that he would now sign the form if that meant not going back to prison. The Marshal said, that's beyond my control, I have to take you back to prison. So, Mr. Cohen, he should probably listen to his attorney, and his attorney should realize that he does not get to negotiate with the court and the probation department that works for the judge. If they say no social media, they mean no social media. In-home detention is a privilege, and I'm telling you, this rarely, never takes place. And Mr. Cohen screwed it up. Classic example of pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Had Mr. Cohen simply followed the rules, he'd be sleeping in his own bed tonight. But instead, tonight he's sleeping in a bed provided by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. I bet you wish he had signed that paperwork now. Next on the docket, a quick recess. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about this subscription service that we've offered. Go to CrimeTalkSearch.com and you can anonymously search and retrieve a background check on anyone. This report, which is compiled in literally minutes and you download to your computer, will have social media information. It will have email addresses, phone numbers, property records, criminal background records, as well as bankruptcies. This is the type of information that you want to know about people, particularly if you're going to get involved in an intimate relationship. You need to know who you're dealing with. Last week, we had a subscriber send to us, completely unsolicited, saying that she had done a background check on a gentleman that she was interested in. She found out that he had been arrested for crimes against children. Now, it's good that she found that out so that she didn't make a mistake and continue a relationship with this particular individual. If she chooses to do so, at least she knows going forward that that's the case. But as she stated in her comment, he lied about it. Sign up for your background search subscription. You will be satisfied. Next on the docket, the residence of Suzanne Morphew has been searched again. The police went back to her residence in Colorado on July 9th and conducted another search. It's unclear whether a warrant was issued or whether her husband allowed them into the residence. Now you may recall, Suzanne Morphew disappeared on May 10th after going out for a bike ride and never returning home. The police have searched the residence. They spent 3 days searching that residence at one point. They dug up a big piece of concrete at a job site that her husband was working at, and still no sign of Suzanne Morphew. It also appears as though her husband may not be completely cooperative in this investigation. Obviously, he is given the presumption of innocence and will wait and see. The authorities provided no further detail. Authorities have released the 911 call as well as video shortly after an actress's 4-year-old son made his way back to the beach. Naya Rivera was out with her 4-year-old son boating. They apparently were on a smaller dinghy and she went for a swim. And according to her son that was found by other boaters, he stated that she had gone for a swim and never came back. The 4-year-old was found on the boat alone, wearing his life jacket along with an adult life jacket that was in the boat. Naya Rivera is presumed to have drowned, but the authorities have not located her body. You can listen to the 911 call here.
Lake Piru. The emergency is we have a missing person. We found a little girl in one of the boats by herself, and her mom's nowhere to be found.
Okay. Do we know if it's a boy or girl?
I believe it was a little girl.
Okay. Approximate age?
Like I said, I have no idea. I'm heading down there right now.
Next on the docket, Video has surfaced in regards to the Breonna Taylor matter. The video has been released by Breonna Taylor's sister. Breonna Taylor's sister released this video because she was upset that the police department in Louisville, Kentucky were only releasing portions of the video. So we have the 3-minute video right here. This shows Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Mr. Walker, being arrested. Let me know what you think, whether you think it's relevant to the case at hand of the wrongful death of Breonna Taylor.
Hey, bro, what the f***, dog? They didn't shot the police. They got SWAT out the and everything. Dog.
Come outside. Tack 3, everyone. Tack 3. Tack 3. Walk back. Walk to me. Brent, you will go hands on. On top. On top. Keep your gun on him. Turn around. Face away. Turn around. Face away. Turn around and face away. Give me one patrolman to my left.
It's going down out here, dog. Sing Africans.
Keep walking backwards, sir.
Somebody said keep recording. This is crazy.
You've been hit by a bullet.
Oh, she's crying. Where's he at? I won't see him.
Now, once you get down on one knee on your... Keep walking back.
He is out there.
Keep walking back. Look backwards.
They were hitting. Look at the dog. Look at the dog. They're going to get the dog to bite him.
Keep walking backwards, sir, to the step. You know, once you step in, you go right from here.
They keep on saying, he just right. All they know is he shot loud. Look at the dog. Hey, y'all know this is going to be on news. Yes, this is going to be on the news. Look at all the police out there. All shooting. Oh, they got the dog. Nigga, because if he do anything, they're going to take that motherfucker and go off on him. Are you lying? No.
One more step, sir. Now I need you to walk back between these two vehicles.
Oh, that nigga got on my ass, nigga. You the shot.
Keep coming back, sir. Keep walking backward.
He gonna keep hollering, I'm scared. Nigga, you sure? Oh, look at the dog. I can't see him. Look, he gonna keep hollering, I'm scared. They gonna let that motherfucking dog go through the gate. Ooh, that dog is...
Walk back to me. Keep on walking. Walk down.
He gonna say I'm trying. Is that the dude that be in the Charger? He be in that black Charger. Yes, it is him. Is that the one that lived under in the black Charger and stuff? Dang, they got him, y'all. Dang, y'all, he's going out of here now. They really got the SWAT at her and everything. It's going down.
Next on the docket, our dumb criminal contestant of the day. And our dumb criminal contestant, yes, doesn't come from Florida today. She comes from Oklahoma. Marlana Arbaugh, 56, apparently went into a Skechers outlet store. She went to the register to pay for her shoes. She became rather incensed when the employee at Skechers asked her to wear a mask. Apparently, the sign is posted as you walk in that you must wear a mask to shop at the store, and the employee insisted that she have a mask. Miss Arbaugh did not have a mask and was instructed that she could go buy one at the Lowe's located nearby. Miss Arbaugh became incensed and threw the shoebox at the employee. Miss Arbaugh left the scene and actually has not been arrested. But you may ask, how do we know that this is our Marlana Arbaugh that committed the crime? As we've talked about before, identity is always very important in proving any crime to make sure we get the right person. Well, in this particular case, we do have it on video. But second, apparently Miss Arbaugh left her license on the counter after she threw the shoes at the employee and walked out of the store. Her license has been booked into evidence as the case progresses against her. She's a wanted woman. If you know where Miss Arbaugh is, you may want to tell her to go turn herself in. And what Miss Arbaugh can do if she is our dumb criminal contestant of the week, she can win a Crime Talk mug if she contacts me at scott@scottreisch.com. Now, a quick recap of our contestants for the week. Since there's no more polls on YouTube, just leave a comment below. That's all we have for you today as I come to you from beautiful Winter Park, Colorado. Go ahead and just enjoy the view.